anything, can we?
So we've got three, she said
We've
it's
got
enough.
3.
Oh, that's, yeah.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Lebanon Board of Park Commissioners. I'd like to call the meeting to order and let the record show that all members are present except John Lastly, Karen Galvin, and Jessica Lawler. If everyone's had a chance to take a look at the minutes, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I move that we approve the minutes.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Is there any old business to come before the board, John?
I'll just cover it in the director's report if that's all right with you.
Okay. All right, so then there's no new business.
Correct.
Okay, so let's go on to the director's report.
Okay, I'll start off at Reese Park. Practices and games are running very smoothly. Scott Milam, the Lebanon soccer coach, and also the LISA president. We've met a couple times about planning the upgrades to the facility, talking about paving, building that they'd like, et cetera. Just some improvements that we need to make at that park. Also being discussed is a lift station on the southwest corner of the property to help with issues in surrounding neighborhoods, with their sanitation. That I will be discussing, or I have been discussing with the mayor and Mr. Ed from Lebanon Utilities. He's the manager there, and I will keep you informed as we move along. Also working out with Ryan Ottinger and BF&S John Leitner from that engineering firm. As we progress in that, I'll let you know. We have on that property, it is in a floodplain, so we're hoping to move it back in a corner and rectify that issue with a longer pipe, but it is much needed for a lot of the neighborhoods, and it is city-owned, so I'll discuss that when we get around to further details on that. Memorial Park, we have the Triangle Asphalt did a nice job at the baseball diamond on the outside there where the stands are. They put new paving in. We just had our new fencing set up. There again, we've done quite a bit of work there. Steps and the interior upgrades in the baseball complex, they're all completed. And the team's been winning, so I think it's all due to our hard work along with Kevin Case
yeah.
and this is cool.
No doubt.
I'm telling you, no, they have some good pitching. They're playing this evening. If anybody gets a chance, they're looking awful good. They also play Friday at Victory Field, which is pretty neat. If you can get out there, this is the team to watch. They're really exciting and a lot of fun to watch. But there again, the paving for the parking lot and 39 entrance are up next, along with the path that's going from right along the baseball fence. That'll keep everybody safe and secure. We'll expand that drive heading down the hill, if what have you, there by the baseball fence. We're going to put it all paving so everybody can stay off the roads when they walk through the park and have a safe walk when they go through. But that's up next as soon as Triangle can get out. Obviously, these rains have slowed him down and backed him up a little bit, but we are on the schedule. We have planted several memorial trees and removed a couple of stumps along with several trees. We had minimal tree damage with the high winds, which was surprising, and all the ice and all that, if you can remember back. New signage is being installed at all the shelters where they have reserved on them. All the shelters need to be reserved. You can get to our website to reserve any of those. There again, there's new names on each one of them. And there again, on our website, it'll show you the old, what we used to call them and what their new names are. Let me see. We also removed the concession stand and a couple trees there in preparation for our all-inclusive playground. With that, I'll just show you some of the sketch, if you will.
Let's
see if
get
we
it up.
get that up there. There you go. That's just kind of a rough draft of what we're looking at. That's the parking lot. The restroom would be down over this way. That's the parking right there, that is the parking right across. The playground area is all around. That's where the concession stand kind of stood. We're looking at a bigger spot. I'm going to talk to the council on Monday because roughly that's 2,300 square feet. That's like most of your front yards in town, and it's awfully small. Once you get it, I've staked it out. If anybody goes by, you can see the stakes that are in there. That's what we originally had planned. This play material that we put on top of it, there again, no-fault surface on top of the concrete. It's $24 to $26 a square foot. That's what we would be in our budget, but I'm going to see if we can get our budget increased and get a little larger area. I don't think we want anything too small. I think we'd better go a little bigger if we can, if the council will allow the extra funding. Just my thought process. But we've kind of laid out a little bit, haven't picked out any playground material as of yet, but that's just a thought. It'd be at a little angle. And once you lay it out and actually look what you're getting, it's like, boy, that's small. We kind of did that on our pool, if you recall. We looked at it and it's like that lazy river wasn't big enough. And I think we all agree that that lazy river is awful tiny. So why, if we're going to do something, let's do it right. Let's make it a little larger, is my opinion. And I'll speak to the council on Monday and see if they're in agreement and if they will help fund that. But,
Are you saying that the location is big enough?
Location's good. We have plenty of room to expand it there. It's just, boy, look at the stakes. If you have a chance to drive by, I'm going to leave those stakes up. I know they're in the playground area and might get pulled up, but I've got them marked out for now with little red flags on them. Billy Smith did that today or a couple days ago. It's just tiny. It just doesn't look big enough, and we want something. You put a couple pieces of playground and all-inclusive playground equipment there, you're out of room, and we want some equipment in there so
Well,
the
plus you
kids
have to be
can.
cognizant of the fact that you're going to have potentially children with wheelchairs.
Exactly.
And children who are not necessarily real stable in their mobility.
Correct.
So you don't want them running into each other.
Crammed in there.
Absolutely, and there's ADA compliance where you have to be so far with every piece of equipment because if somebody fly off, they can't get hurt, what have you, with the fencing and everything that we're going to put up. So there's a lot of compliance issues, which shrinks it even more. So you think 2,300 square feet, a front yard of somebody's yard, it's pretty tiny. Once you try and put a couple pieces of equipment and keep the distance that you need to be compliant with the state regulations, I'll see what they say, and we'll work with whatever we have to, but quite frankly, it needs to be bigger in my eyes, what I've seen, and the council's been very supportive to everything we've done, so hopefully we'll get a big thumbs up on Monday and say, let's go a little bigger than that. But I can't budget all our equipment until I find out what our size is. As I said, that's $60-some thousand just for that, and we only had budgeted something around $190,000. And with the fencing, that's not including all the fencing that goes around, the concrete around walk that we have to have. Once you put all that in there, you have about $80,000 left, and that isn't a whole lot for playground equipment. Plus, just my thoughts, and prices aren't going down on anything, they're going up, fencing, everything. So I think we just better budget a little more. We should be ready to roll that out in probably 6 weeks, where we can go ahead and put the RFPs, requests for proposals out. But I just want to get a sure number on how many dollars we can have towards that project before we go forward.
It seems to go to this extent and how much it's going to cost. We need to do it correctly and properly.
Yes.
And with a big bang because, it's been a long time.
Yeah, and right now what I have, I've set up a few different pieces of equipment there. It's just so small. Yes, we can stay under budget and do it for under $200,000, but I don't think the finished product is what we are all looking for. And let's face it, our city isn't getting any smaller.
No.
It's only getting bigger, and There's a lot of autistic and handicapped people that really need a place to go close by, and I think we need to address this situation. Plus, if you look at our equipment that we have now, our playground equipment, the newest one, we do have a piece that we bought 8 years ago, but prior to that, it's 1980s and 1970s pieces of equipment. So if we're going to do it, we probably won't get to do this in a while, so let's go
Yeah.
big, in my eyes.
I agree.
One thing you might, if you don't already know this, is usually folks that design playgrounds like this, they can tell you about how many children would be able to, that space would accommodate.
Right.
So if you don't already know, it might be finding out, okay,
Yeah,
this,
we're working-
this space that you have spelled out right now, how
Right.
many kids with equipment and everything could that accommodate? To give an idea, I think the council might appreciate knowing that, because that puts it in perspective, besides just a visual, the actual functionality of
Correct,
the
correct.
space.
And we've been working with Deb Schmucker, and she has all that information. I didn't ask her to come tonight, but as far as that, we've been discussing how many that would actually take care of, and her first thoughts too was, boy, you aren't going to get many in there as far as.
You have a number for that?
She does.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked about it, and I've done 15 things since then, and I apologize for not having
Okay.
that. The other, as far as that was just the main conversation that we had as far as the size of it and the compliance issues where, you put a piece of equipment and it's pretty close to the other fence. Can we make it work? Yes, we can, but I think we want something just a little bit bigger than that. And the playground, like you said, I had 3 vendors come in and we've discussed those same issues. What playgrounds normally look at is 2 to 5 range and 5 to 12. And I don't know what I've seen, just in my experience, that's great 2 to 5 or 2 to 8, but the 15-year-olds or 12-year-olds get in there and they'll run the others off, if you know what I mean. So I think we keep it 2 to 8, age range as far as that. That's not standard. Playground is 2 to 5 and 5 to 12 is what they are. So we're looking at those numbers too to try and hit the age group that we want. We want the younger age groups. If you know, you've dealt with a lot of playgrounds in your past, Diane, so you're very familiar. Didn't you help with Stokes project?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We visited lots of playgrounds before we made decisions, and it's worked out pretty well. And we also talked to PE teachers and people like that, things that, they think that kids need. Like in our case, when we learned from the PE teacher that kids today don't have that much upper body strength. And so we added specific pieces of equipment to try to enhance that. And we have plenty of that at the park, of course.
Oh,
But
yeah.
one thing, with the age range you were just talking about, I just remember when Missy Cooley brought Winnie, she is, a child who would still enjoy, even though her age is.
Oh, yeah,
getting up
it isn't
there.
going to be stay out if you're this old. No, it won't be something like that. Is that what you're
Well,
indicating?
because, children would have a lot of disabilities and still enjoy being even around younger children that are playing.
Right.
And also, if they have physical limitations, they can't be on the big playground with the bigger kids because they may get hurt, either because of the other kids' activity or because the equipment is not conducive to them.
Right.
And so some pieces, I don't know how elaborate we're going to be able to be, but there are swing sets and things like that are larger. Remember we saw some pictures of some, I think?
Yes.
That could accommodate some, adolescent kids that aren't necessarily 5-year-old size. I just think we need to be cognizant of that population as well.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the reason I said that 10 to 12, if you notice, they get bored real quick too with the smaller equipment that, they want to climb the big slide and things like that. So they get bored. And when we get to that, I will be including everybody in on decision process there and what we're going for. The
It's
mayor.
a golden opportunity. We want to
Yeah, and the mayor
most out of it
gave-
we can.
Mayor gave me also a contact for the autistic director there, so I'm going to speak with her and see her ideas too, because I think everybody, that's who we're targeting, and I believe is the handicap and the different special needs that they need, so that's where we are on that one, and Deb is
Exciting.
great.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
it really is.
It is.
Deb is great at it, and these vendors, I mean, oh my gosh, I have 5 magazine or books. The mayor's had them, just got them back from him, and he's tagged a bunch of stuff too, so a lot of ideas all the way around.
Good.
And we just want a nice finished product. Rentals are back on track in preparation for the all-inclusive playground. Rentals are back on track with many bookings, and we only have three pool parties available this year. We have 3 Thursdays. All the rest of them are booked. It's
That's good.
incredible. Yeah, from last year, what we've gone through, and then this year, our shelter rentals are up. Everything is just, obviously, if you've gone through the parks this last weekend, you saw they were just all packed. The pool is filled, is filled for the season with many makeovers, along with new loungers, canvas umbrellas, tables, etc. Something that we ran into that last cold spell we had, there's a tile that goes all around the edge of the pool right before you get to the drain. And needless to say, it cracked. All the tile cracked all the way around the front of the entrance of the wave pool. And we're getting ready to put, in fact, we have water in the pool now. And this was last week or 2 weeks ago, that cold spell, that real cold snap. Try and find out the tile. I get the vendor that actually did that. I call the vendor comes right out. He said that tile is from Italy. Guess what our chances of getting it in? No chance. $9,500 just for the tile alone, and it might be in next year sometime. So we went to a Mosaic. We thought about that. Again, having delivery issues and timing, and he doesn't have the personnel to come out and do the labor. So our parks crew stepped up. Billy Smith, Cole Henry's done a great job. Got out there, tore it out, Mike Redmond, and we put concrete in it. It'll work fine for this year, and then we'll look at different avenue. Called the engineers. Again, HWC was fantastic, along with Sam Blake from Spear Corporation to help us thought process on what we could do, because we were, not in panic mode. We never panic out there, but the pool will open on time. In fact, water's in there now, so we'll be ready for Memorial Day. Again, a lot of nice enhancements that we've made at the park. We'll be putting flowers and touching up the beds in the parks. Next focus. Our maintenance crew has been a little short-handed. Kudos to them for everything, going above and beyond with making all the parks and downtown looking fantastic. Again, Caleb was out on the trails. He's been taking care of the trails, getting them cut, looking good, and we have a new machine cutting off sticks. I think with all these winds, there's trees that are way off to the side that fall across. I think on a weekly basis, sometimes daily, we're out there. Caleb's done a great job taking care of it in the shop. There again, all of them are doing fantastic. Many upgrades that we have on our security cameras, along with the office and concession stand security too. There again, those were all budgeted items that we didn't do all the enhancements we wanted to. We only did what we needed to. I had the Conservation Club cameras budgeted, but we aren't quite ready for all those cameras yet until the trail comes through, and then I'll figure out where we do the placement. But we do have the money budgeted when we go forward with the trail. The office continues to be extremely busy with league activity, events, pool passes, and shelter and pool rentals, along with day-to-day operations, dog park, new patrons there. Again, can't say enough about them. Everybody's still working over, and we haven't even hit the season hardly yet. It's just, and time just goes. I think we all know how busy it is.
Don, is the dog park used quite a bit?
Yeah, we have, I think our last count was 180
Great.
people.
Wow,
and
that's good.
some of them could have 2 dogs. So, yeah, there's quite a few. It's funny, I don't see them out there quite often. Weekends, they're real busy, and 5 or 6 during the day, and I'm never probably out there at the time that I should be in the evening to see the activity. There's a dog park group. They have their own Facebook page, and they kind of communicate quite a bit. They've donated some things there too.
Nice.
And our RC park is going fantastic. We have a few events coming up there. That guy has just done an outstanding job, along with Ted Caldwell. We all can't thank him enough for opening and closing that 7 days a week, and that saves us 3 to 4 hours daily of him doing that. He picks up trash, cleans it up, monitors, very good communicator, and by the way, we have a new fountain out at the Conservation Club. It looks gorgeous.
I saw that.
We hope to get another one next year at the other side of the Conservation Club. Our spring pickleball league is going well, and the courts are constantly busy. Have a few more weeks of play, and we will host a small tournament after the season on Friday, May 21st. The tournament will be solely for those who played in the league, but we're planning to have a larger pickleball tournament sometime in July. We're excited for our first ever Princess Party on this Saturday, May 8th. All carriage rides have been booked. They were booked like within
Really
4 hours. It
fast,
was
yeah.
unbelievable how quick they were. And I'm sorry, but we could only get one carriage ride, and and they are booked. So I'm sorry for the ones that missed out, but we still are serving punch and cookies and have crafts going on in the cabin. So come out and enjoy the event from 1 to 4. Cabin entry is free. Our June and July swim lessons are almost full. Our June evening and July evening sessions are totally booked. However, there are still a few spots in both morning sessions. Be sure to check out our website or call the office to register. The Seashore Water Park, all staff orientation will take place on May 16th. Looking forward to opening day and can't believe it'll be here real soon. We also have lap swimming that we're trying to get people interested in. That will go on at the school on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 5:30 in the morning till 6:30. Just call the parks office to register, and hopefully we'll have at least 5 that'll do it, but hopefully we'll have 25. We used to have a big crowd, and I think a lot of them went to the YMCA, but boy, you can get a lot more laps in and a lot more distance at the pool, and that's nice enough. The high school has allowed us to do that. Lighting, where we are on the lighting, just got done with some site work. I just got that today. We're getting closer to that. Hopefully that's another project that we're about 6 to 8 weeks out on, where we'll put the RFP. The availability's running around 6 to 8 weeks out, so that'll fall into place just fine right in the fall time. We'll probably lean on the utilities for a little bit of help there. Let me see. The bike pedestrian plan, I think that was in there, a bill from DLZ. They're still getting all their site work done on extending the trail from downtown all the way through Abner Longley. There again, we have the cabin work that'll be done this month from the log doctors from Tennessee. They'll be up to take care of it. And that's pretty much. There is another project that's going on with the utilities down at Abner Longley. They cleared all the trees. They had to get those out by April 1st because of the bad habitat. They did find out some wetlands that I wasn't aware of. It didn't show up in DNR, and I don't know if we created it from our some of the things that we've done on the roads or what have you, but there are a couple which they're working through those problems as we go. But again, that Dustin Shirley and his crew over there at the utilities has been a big help on everything, hooking up our transformer out at the Conservation Club so we could get power to put a fountain in. Just extremely helpful in everything we do. Removed a few poles. Now he's talking about taking out a couple poles down at Southside Park so we can get rid of those big poles and wires crossing all the parking lot. There again, I can't say enough about the utilities and the relationship we have and how good it is. Quite a few things going on, but that's all I had for tonight's report.
The utilities did accept a bid tonight to tear down, to demolish on Noble Street, so.
Yes, they have that in their works to do that, so that
Yeah.
is coming down. There is discussion with the utility manager, Mr. Ed, there, we have a bucket truck that we've kind of used it for a few years. We invested quite a bit of money in. Their tree trimming, they really don't do a whole lot of that, and we got one of their trucks. And needless to say, it's still on their asset list. And he's wanting us to see if we could go ahead and plant some around his water plant down there, swapping work for that. And we'll have discussions about that, about what we can do. I'm kind of getting prices on what it'd cost rather than him get a landscaper. And we've had the truck checked out, but those are just some of the other things that we're working on. But yeah, we've used it and it's been inspected. It's good to go. We've used it for about 8 years. Got inspected again yesterday and passed its inspection. So I feel safe for guys to get up in the trees in it. The other truck that we had before it caught fire right out in front of the municipal building. So I am sure glad that we have this truck, and I'm sure we'll make it work. Again, utilities, and we have a great relationship with the city, so it works out well.
John, could we sometime address, excuse me, the name of the conservation area and quit calling it the Conservation Club? And
That's
like the
just me.
Lebanon City Conservation Park?
It is Abner Longley. It's connected to Abner Longley, so it is Abner Longley Park, and I call it Conservation Pond. And there again, the working with the fire and the police department, I think the dispatch needs to know what the addresses are. We still have the Conservation Club as the address for, I don't know, for purposes, but Robert Wirey's working on that, on getting those things straightened out.
It just seems like every time it comes up, there's a huge controversy.
Yeah, it is.
So that will still be Abner Longley?
That is all Abner Longley Park, yeah. The dog park is in Abner, the old Conservation Club is in Abner Longley. That is all connected, so it's all considered Abner Longley Park. And the address is 701 East Noble, and as far as that, I do call it Conservation Pond. There again, there aren't any naming rights or anything on that, but yeah, I'll be happy to do whatever the board recommends.
I suppose we'll have signage later, maybe?
Yeah, we have signs down there.
Oh, is
And
there?
in fact,
I haven't been down there recently.
the street department helped us out putting those signs for traffic to cross, and that has slowed traffic down there. A lot of geese were getting run over too, and everybody down there that I've spoke with really appreciates that little crossing.
Right.
There's no actual crosswalk because there aren't sidewalks, but it does slow them down right there. I think it's Hamilton that goes into. Right there across.
If you can just get the ducks to use the crosswalk.
Yeah, I hear you. We have some neat things. Saw a fox and her cubs. That's pretty cool down there too. We have just all kinds of wildlife. We're stocking the pond, both ponds. That gets done twice a year. There again, they haven't delivered them, but that's twice a year. We have a fishing derby coming up 1st of June through Kiwanis. That's awesome. We'll restock it again, or actually Kiwanis pays for that stocking. And nice fishing derby for all the kids, and I'll make that report at our next meeting. But yeah, I will look into that surely and see where Robert is with the addresses and all that. Any other questions?
Well, is it still your vision at some point in time to construct a new building, like where the conservation building was?
A community center would
Yeah.
love it, yeah, it just
We
hasn't.
talked about that at length quite some time ago.
It's in our master plan, and actually, we got to do our master plan again this fall, so again, we'll be including all your thoughts on, and direction that you guys want the parks to go and what amenities you want to see. We should have money rolling in by next year from, the park impact fees for some of these new facilities. And, I think it'd go wonderfully down there myself. And the trail is going to go right by it. So the
That'd be
big
wonderful.
four, restrooms, things like that we got to look at. We have a couple restrooms that we discussed back in August with the council. I think we had 2 identified to be putting in, be it unisex or, or small boy and girl, something that we set in at the trailhead. So we are looking into that too. I agree. No, that is it's still out there. We have drainage, just like this playground. We haven't addressed some drainage issues, and we don't want the concrete to pucker and pop up. I mean, concrete will break. We're in Indiana, but we want to make sure that it runs off properly and the drainage is there. You don't want it to be flooded, and there's no drainage around there, believe it or not, other than where the old concession stand was, and we're going to try and tie into that. Those are some of the deep and dirty things that we're looking at too. Electricity to the shelter, water to the shelter that'll be next to it, and those are just some of the things that we're looking at.
Perpetual list, isn't it?
It's daily. But as I said, spring has sprung, and a lot different than last year. The activity and the people coming in, it's nice to see people again.
Yeah.
Visiting the office. Our office hours 8 to 4, and a lot of traffic, and it's different than it was last year. It was like the parks are still being utilized tremendously.
Probably more than ever before.
I swear, a lot of
think
people, we've never booked these pool parties this quick. As I said, there's only 3 Thursdays left for the whole season. I mean, that's unheard of.
incredible,
And
yeah.
these carriage rides filled up in less than 2.5, 3 hours. All our activities are up. I will say youth sports are down a little bit in our soccer program. Just had a meeting with the youth football. They're anticipating hopefully having a big season down there. They start in July. I mean, it's great to get these kids out and everybody active again. So it's just a different season, and so glad that we're moving forward. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Last year, I don't want to do that again. Oh, well.
No, nobody does.
Amen.
That's it.
Okay, very good.
Oh, no, there's one more announcement. I had a granddaughter.
Oh, yeah.
Sam and Sierra had a grandbaby, or had a baby, my grandbaby. Honora, and let's see, she was 8 pounds and 20 inches long, and a couple weeks earlier than expected, so.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, she's adorable, and baby and mom and dad are doing great. Little sleep deprived, which hey, welcome to
Parenting.
raising kids. That's right. But God, it's gorgeous. It's great, and I'm very blessed. Is all I could say.
Very good.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's great. Okay, if there's no other questions, I'd entertain a motion that we pay the claims.
So moved.
Oh,
Yep.
I've got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carried. The next motion I would entertain is to adjourn the meeting.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us.